If you want a few tips on organising your equipment or stowing your kit, stay tuned. With your pack-up routine, the first thing to do is to see what you need to pack up. Count the items. Collect them in an easy identifiable place where they can be seen, and try not to fold fabric and nylon in the same place every time. Clean off your tent pegs. This reduces the weight and stops them rotting. One way to preserve your equipment is to put it in a slightly larger container. Put the small items in first, then just squash the material in. This stops it being folded in the same place every time. The equipment will be kept in a better condition for a longer period of time, thus saving money and having your equipment ready for use whenever you need it. I received a set of arrows in the post. They came in a cardboard tube. Now this might be good for posting, but it was no good for storage or carrying around. I had some 2-inch plastic pipe available. The first thing I did was to look for a method of capping each end. I was able to find one plastic cap that fitted, but that was it. So I decided I would use a hole cutter to cut out a wooden plug the correct size. Unfortunately, one plug was too small and the other one was too big. So the larger one was trimmed down to size and friction fitted into the bottom of the tube and then sealed with glue. To secure the plug even further, I drilled 3 holes and then put in 3 small screws prior to sealing the wooden plug so it wouldn't absorb moisture when out in the field. It's really fun to have an open wood fire. However, unless you've got the landowner's permission, it's illegal. Leaving burnt remains lying all over the place hacks everybody off. So if you want to wild camp and stay safe, you use a gas stove. It's dangerous storing gas cylinders indoors. There's also a problem of rust if you store them outside in a shed where they can get damp. The answer to this is to wrap them in cling film. 2 layers are better than 1. But remember, force out any air pockets so there's no way condensation can affect the metal of the canister. I picked up the camper mat from the rubbish patch. It's not a very good one. It's too thin for really good use, but it does provide a source of good padding. I put it underneath the lid of my rucksack, and as you can see, it's been damaged by going through the trees. So if you're going to carry a camper mat, carry it inside your burgan, in a cover, or strap it at the side going vertically so it doesn't catch all the vegetation as you go through it. It's not much good if you've got all your gear properly stowed but the straps on your rucksack keep slipping. You can either bend over the ends and sew them down, or if you've got enough room, tie a knot in the strap. Tying a knot in the strap is cheap and it's easy to undo. You don't want to carry extra water or fuel, so if you're going to make a cup of tea or cook some pasta, measure out the water that you're going to need. Then you use less water and less fuel. If your cooking container has not got measuring marks on, draw on your own. You decide, fluid ounces, millilitres or cups. Fill your cup or mug with water. Pour the water in the cooking container, mark off the level. It's that easy. Don't be afraid to make your own kit. Here's an example where I've made a container for my archery set. The set consists of 2 arms, the middle section, and a set of ancillary things like bowstrings and finger guards and wrist guards. I laid the items out on the material, drew on where the dividers would be, and sewed them down. Eventually I cut off the spare materials, turned over the edge and added a tie cord. The large lighter section is ideal for checking the small parts when assembling and deassembling the bow. Although this takes time, it means I've got a piece of equipment that suits my needs. If you're going to store your can opener and it's got metal parts that stick together when you store it, put some plastic in between to stop them rusting together long term. To let someone get to your first aid pouch or pack fast, mark it with some coloured tape. This makes it easy to identify, and if you change the use of the pack or pouch, you can take the tape off. It's much easier than writing on what's inside the pack. Thank you to everyone who watches, comments and hopefully subscribes. So get your kit organised, get out there, get training. You know it makes sense, it will serve you well.